Hello, welcome to my Takeout Tuesday for this week, and I'll be reading from Psalm 107, which is the psalm for this week. It's about deliverance. In fact, that's the title given on 107 Thanksgiving, for deliverance from many troubles. And so when we read this psalm, we remember God's steadfastness and taking us out of all sorts of difficult waters and difficult experiences, and you name it. The metaphors here are tremendous. And so that's why it's significant that this psalm begins, "Oh, give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, for his steadfast love endures forever." Now that line was the prayer that was always suggested in our catechism to say after each meal. We were just to ask for a blessing. Lord, bless this food that we're about to receive. And then after the meal, traditionally Lutherans would then pray, "Oh, give thanks to the Lord, for he is good and his steadfast love endures forever." In other words, giving praise to God afterwards, giving God thanks. But this psalm was chosen for this week, I think, because of the gospel reading that'll come up on Sunday from Mark 4, where Jesus calms the storm. In other words, he saves the disciples. If you remember, he's sleeping in the boat, and they go back and they say, "Jesus, don't you care that we're drowning?" And so this psalm talks about that kind of experience. And so starting in verse 23, it says, "Some went down to the sea in ships doing business on the mighty waters, and they saw the deeds of the Lord, his wondrous works in the deep. For he commanded and raised the stormy wind, which lifted up the waves of the sea. They mounted up to heaven. They went down to the depths. Their courage melted away in their calamity. They reeled and staggered like drunkards, and were at their wits' end. Then they cried to the Lord in their trouble, and he brought them out from their distress. He made the storm be still, and the waves of the sea were hushed. Then they were glad because they had quiet, and he brought them to their desired haven. Let them thank the Lord for his steadfast love, for his wonderful works to humankind. Let them extol him in the congregation of the people." And so if you're going through difficult times this week, I wanted to turn to 107, the psalm that talks about how God delivers us from so many troubles. And then lift up a word of praise to God, for indeed he will be faithful to you. May that be your blessing this week. Bye-bye.